Welcome into today's live Reiki by request. I'll be starting the live stream in just a few minutes. Please come in, make yourself comfortable. Just getting some last minute things set up here before we begin the live stream. Welcome in. Beginning started in just a few minutes with today's Reiki by request. Let's see. Hello, I hope you're doing well today. Say hello in the chat as you arrive. Just getting last minute things set up here for today's live stream. I hope you're doing well. All right. Everything is looking good here on my end. Welcome in. I'll be getting started with today's Reiki by request in just a few minutes. Please come in and say hello and make yourself comfortable. Welcome, welcome. So good to see you today. Yes, it is Mustang. What about you? What's the time of day where you are today? I'm just starting the Reiki by request live stream today. Hello, Phyllis. Thank you for getting your heart me as you arrive. So good to see you. I'll be getting started with today's session in just a few minutes. Please come in, say hello. Let me know what time it is, where you are. Welcome. We'll be starting the live stream in just another few minutes. Please come in and say hello. Let me know how you're doing today. Oh, good. Let's see, here it's almost 9 a.m. So in the morning here, it's a pretty overcast day. And it's cold. The weather has returned to being pretty cold here again. And after the short, warm snap that we experienced, the cold feels even colder because we know that spring is right around the corner. Hello, Vanessa. Thank you for getting your heart me as you come in. All right, my friends, I'm just about ready to get started with today's session. Lex, hello. Welcome. Mustang, I am here in New England, and we still have a lot of snow on the ground. Not a lot, I should say. We have an adequate amount of snow here in March still. It is melting slowly. Such a beautiful time of year. If you can embrace all of the grays and the browns and the muddled whites around you as the land is preparing for fresh green. It's like that pause right before a new awakening, a birth of new energy. March holds us in that moment between spaces. My birthday is in March, and hello Julie, hello Ange, good to see you. When I was growing up, I hated that my birthday was in March because March was a time of great frustration for me. In New England, it's such a time of transition. You're neither in deep winter or in the period of regrowth yet. It's a transitional period, and it used to frustrate me so much. March in general, and also being born in March, I hated it. March is a time of patience that you need to navigate the month that can be so unpredictable. Everything in flux. You never know if you need a sweater. You never know if you need some shorts. And the land seems to never move in the way that you want it to. March asks a lot of you. As the land defrosts and changes here, so too does our energy change and shift. March is a time of upheaval. But now that I am older, working toward my 50s now, I am so grateful, especially for the month of March. And I'm so lucky that I was born during such a tumultuous and unpredictable month in New England. Yeah, Julie, it can be hard to plan the birthday parties. Absolutely. Welcome in. I'll be getting started shortly. Just felt compelled to tell my story of March. All right, my friends. Let's get started. Thank you for getting your heart me's Ash. Welcome in. Abby, hello. Tell me about it. I just bought this mug. I got it at TJ Maxx last week, and I came home and I told my husband, this is my favorite of favorite mugs. I absolutely love it. Don't steal it. And he took a look at it and he thought it was horrid. And he was like, I would never steal that mug. So I'm very lucky that I have a mug that my husband does not love. His current favorite mug is my second favorite that says Mom. I'm like, you're not Mom. Give me that mug back. All right. Let's begin, my friends. I'll start by explaining the session and introducing myself. So if you have questions of what is Reiki, what is this, we'll get started with that information and then we'll begin. Welcome in. This is Reiki by request. During the session, you can just sit back. You can relax as we open to receive Reiki energy healing, which is for everyone. Hello, Fatima. So good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. KM, welcome. Thanks for getting your heart beat. During this session, I will open for requests. Viewers can make requests anytime during this session if they'd like something personalized for their healing journey. However, everyone can receive Reiki. It is a free and open healing system. And that system is available to anyone who is open to receive. However, opening and receiving are not as easy as they might sound. Most of us struggle to relax and trust. Most of us struggle to receive anything. And most of us can struggle to open in a world that often seems to encourage us to close. So it's no small feat to be able to open and receive Reiki. During the session, I pair the flow of Reiki with ASMR elements. For example, these slow and intuitive hand movements. Also a soft spoken and gentle voice to help guide you into a place of security and trust, helping you to relax. It's not easy just to relax, is it? I speak from my own experience. It's okay. During this session, viewers may make requests. However, remember that Reiki flows where it's needed and how it's needed for the recipient. Always for their highest good. No matter what the request is. Hello Vic, hello Tina. Thanks for getting your heart meets. No matter what the request is, when you open to receive Reiki, it may not work with the theme or the words that I'm using. During the session, I will use guided and intuitive language and words that come to mind to support you on your journey. I like to use a lot of imagery and visualization. That's just kind of how I think. So I like to use that in the healing. My name is Jen. I am a certified Reiki Master Teacher. Among other things, I think most of us have many titles. I certainly do. I have the title of Reiki Master, the title of Mom. I'm also a doctor of philosophy. So many titles that we could use. But I'm so glad that you're here joining me today. Let me know in the chat how you're doing today as you join, and please do grab your heart me's as you come in. In order to make a request, the best way is to journey to my picture. And I'll point that out. You can see my picture in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. That is the best way for you to make a request. Although, hold on, I have to get that set up. Give me just a sec. forgot to set up one thing. And now, as I'm talking about it, I realize that I never set up the request venue here. It's always something. All right. There we go. I got it now. Now I can actually see when a request comes my way. Whereas before, I could not. Okay. Give me just a sec and then I'll pick up where I left off in explaining how to make a request. All right, I'm there. I think I'm there. Got it. Okay, no, not quite yet. It's always something, my friends. Thanks for being patient with me. Just forgot to set up this screen so that I can see when a request comes in. I need to start working with a couple monitors so that I can more easily access all the things that I need to see during a live stream. Hey Amirin, good to see you. Okay. All right, I think I've got it. Let me continue on. I was just explaining, hey Bad Mom. I was just explaining how you can make a request. I'm experimenting with some new strategies here. Thanks for getting your heart, me, Mercedes, Antas, Maria, welcome in. All right, you can navigate to my picture, which is in the upper left-hand corner. Hello, Papa. Hello, Alfie. Thanks for being here. That will direct you to where you can make a request for the session today. Oh, for some reason my comment is not approved in TikTok. That's so weird. Does anyone know why that would be? Are you seeing the comment that I just posted? Let me try a different one and see if I'm able to pin that. You don't see it? Oh my goodness. You do see it. It's so weird. You just never know how things... Oh, it's also not approved for me to pin this one. Okay. Yeah, I've really tried hard to avoid all of those words. Let me try one more. Thanks for bearing with me, friends, as I do a little troubleshooting before we start the session. Interesting. Okay. So it was the word, one certain word that has flagged the live stream. Interesting. Let me just erase that word really quickly. As I'm always troubleshooting, let's see what is working and what isn't working. And sometimes it's different from day to day. You see it now. Okay, good. This means the live stream has probably been flagged. So, all right. Anyway, that's one way that you can let me know that you would like something particular for yourself during the session. Another way that you can is to take a look at the viewer wishes, which I am putting up right now. Sometimes I use these, sometimes I don't. It is pricey here on TikTok and is less pricey to use the other modality that I have pointed out. it's here if you want to just stay in the TikTok space. There are many more options here, but I do have a couple here if you want to just use the coin system in TikTok. All right, during the live stream, I will let you know what each of the offerings are as we go, in case you're curious. Let's begin. Finally, we are ready. I say that as I try to get more things situated. Okay, that's really frustrating. All right, let us finally begin. As I invite you now into this shared and loving space, we take our time, arriving into this moment as we allow whatever we're carrying today to be acknowledged. Whatever you're going through in the physical energy body, in the emotional energy body, in the intellectual layer of energy, in the spiritual energy body. Whatever is there, whatever you're carrying, making space now to acknowledge and see. Thank you for getting your heart me. Hello, Jay. Thank you for the Rosa Enchanted. Thank you. Allowing space. Thanks, Dave. That's so sweet. Good. Using the breath now to help us make room within to hold all of the things that need holding in this moment. The breath can help us. I invite you now to become aware of your physical body in time and space. So simple. Just recognizing the boundary of your body, how it is situated or positioned, just noticing. That's it. Listening now for the sound of the breath in its natural state. Nothing to change. If the breath naturally deepens, that's all right. Observing the natural cadence and sound of your breath as it ebbs and flows. Just noticing the breath now. Good. Simply becoming aware of the breathing. It does so much, doesn't it? Listening now to the rhythm of breath. Letting the sound of your breathing carry you into this present moment. Thank you for getting your heartbeat. As you ride the zephyr of breath. Hello Lola, hello Corinne. Inviting the breath to carry you deeper into the energy bodies. I think that I had a request that just came in. Let me check. Damien, thank you so much, my friend. I see you. Thank you for requesting an aura sweep. You will be our first request of the day. We'll get to you in just a moment. Thank you so much. As we bring deeper awareness to the breath, we begin to deepen our breathing as we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth at first. You can open that mouth widely as you exhale at first, letting the jaw fall open and imagining the exhalation marshalling out any energetic debris or tension that you're holding. Let's try it just like that. As we inhale deeply through the nose, that's it. Taking a couple more breaths, exaggerating the breath, just like that. And then we close our jaws and allow the breath to leave the body through the nose. Good. Riding the breath incrementally as we heighten our awareness simply of how we're feeling and what we need in this moment. Listening, watching, where does the breath move? How does it move? How does it feel? Where does the breath journey for healing? Hello, Lori. Hello, Annabelle. Hello, Anais. Good to see you. Good. I want to jump in Oh, thank you so much, Corinne. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, I am on my own healing journey currently, so appreciate that. Those well wishes. Let's get to our first request of the session from our friend Damien. Damien has made a request for an aura sweep. And let me put in the chat what that means in case you are also interested in that. Everything in the live stream is under review today. I think the live stream has been flagged, so we'll have to be very careful of what we say with our words and put in the chat. All right. If you yourself are interested in making a request during the stream, you can check out these viewer wishes. You can also navigate right over here in the upper left-hand corner. And that will carry you to the information that you seek. Thank you for getting your heart meets. Hello, babe. Hello, Sky. So glad that you're here. Let me get set up for, I think we just had another come in here. Let me get set up for our first request, an aura sweep. Nope. I don't think we did have another come in. That was for something else. All right. Give me just a moment and we'll get started. Oh, Dance, thank you for the rosas. Appreciate it. For this aura sweep, I'd like to use my 2 specimens of raw selenite. Taking a moment here with this refreshing and cooling energy as we run this sweet and softly illuminating energy through the auric space. Selenite helps to clear away the energetic debris from the cocoon of energy surrounding you. Softly luminous, just like a silver moon. You can imagine bathing your face in the soft moonlight. As the moonlight gently clears away any energy that's ready to move and change. Good. Just relaxing and allowing the cocoon of energy surrounding you to soften. Good. releasing the energy that no longer makes you feel good and safe. Letting it go. Releasing. Good. Perfect. Thank you so much for your request, Damien. Getting us started with requests for the session. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you are interested in making your own request today, I do have some pinned options here. Let's talk a little bit about affirmation. It's one of my favorites to do. I love doing the affirmations. Also, the visualizations or the journey is so fun for me. The affirmation is an intuitive message. I'm not psychic. I don't consider myself psychic, but I do tap into that intuitive energy to bring some words of support paired with Reiki for you. If you are interested in that, you can navigate to the upper left-hand corner and find how to go about that. All right. Allowing the energy to settle now. Allowing whatever is there in this moment to be acknowledged and seen. Making space for anything that you're going through without judgment. Greeting all energy with compassion. Good. Let me go ahead and put up a poll for our next Reiki experience. As we continue, thank you for getting your heart me's. Hello, King. Hello, Moonchild. Good to see you. Let me put up a poll for our next Reiki experience. Let's see. What do we want to do next? Let's do an affirmation. All right, you will see a poll pop up really soon, and you can vote on which option you would like to explore. Let's explore an affirmation. You can click on the blue check mark in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. That will take you to a poll to vote on the next experience. Let's see. Oops. Having a hard time navigating everything today. Oh, thank you so much, Lex. Thanks for the forest elf. The first affirmation is I choose gentleness. We'll focus on softening and approaching challenges with softness as strength. Option B is I release urgency. Letting go of that feeling of rushing and hurrying. Moving into a space of stillness and ease. Option C is allowing emotional space. As we affirm that we are allowed to move into our feelings, that part of healing, anything, whether it's physical or emotional, intellectual or spiritual, involves the heart space. Casey, thanks for getting your heart me. And the final option to vote on today is option D. I already belong. As we move into the healing power of belonging, feeling as if we have friends and community to support us, that we are part of a bigger unit of connection and care, and inviting that sensation to inform our healing journey. All right, thank you for voting. We had 83 viewers vote in the poll. Options A and B were very close, and option A is the winner with I choose gentleness. Thank you so much for voting. And let me get that down there. Perfect. Coming up next, we will do a soft-spoken guided affirmation focused on gentleness. Hello, Terry. Hello, George. Thank you for getting your heart me's as you arrive. If you are interested as well in making your own request, let me see. I will put some instructions into the chat and see if I can pin. Yay! You can follow the text in the chat. Oops. All right. Let's move next into some guided affirmation focused on gentleness to support us on our journey. Even though so many aspects of my everyday life push me toward becoming hardened and building walls to protect myself and those I love. Even though so many experiences that I've had direct me toward closing down, although so many messages around me seem to instruct me to push through, be bigger and stronger, tougher. I find that when I can make space to soften in the middle of this difficult landscape, that I have achieved a greater form of strength. That allows me to navigate my world with sincere compassion, with loving kindness, as I move into that gentle space when I choose to soften and to look for love and kindness within me and around me. I find myself strengthened. I find that I have done something perhaps more challenging than all other things. I find that I have moved into a space of true courage. I allow myself to derive deep strength from the moments that I can be gentle in a harsh world. And I know that when I share that gentleness with others, they can find that courage too. And that is one of the most meaningful and strong things that I can do. I choose gentleness when everything else leads me away. I choose gentleness when everything else points me toward being closed and hard. I find my strength in softening. Wow. Thank you so much for that vote. That was a powerful exploration of an affirmation for today. Hey Kim, welcome in. If you are a super fan, I just started something different. I am offering super fans a short request during live streams. I'm going to pin that. Let's see if I can pin it. Yay! So if you are currently here and you are a super fan, please do let me know in the chat. We don't have any requests coming up. I don't know why that is. Usually the sessions are full of requests and I have to shut them down. So I'm not sure why there aren't any requests this session. We just had one. Let me know in the chat if it's confusing or if you're just not interested in requests, which could be the case too. I can definitely change the rhythm and the modality of these live streams. I'm just curious because usually there are a ton. Kim, let me know in the chat what your request is as a super fan. I am curious to know. This is a new modality that I'm doing for requests, and it doesn't seem to be working that well today. So I'm not sure if people are just not interested in requests or if it's confusing to navigate. I know, Corinne, I know. I'm trying to, yeah, it is expensive. It is half that if you journey to my picture in the upper left corner and navigate to the page there. That will be quite a bit less. Let me see, I can put that in the chat. Let me just change the wording. So many flags on here that make it really difficult to be frank and forward without being flagged. And that is a lot of alliteration that I just threw at you. Frank and forward without being flagged. But yes, it is much more economical to go there. That's interesting, Maria. What do you mean? I'm just curious if I can figure it out. It is crazy. Hey, Papa. Good to see you. Oh, perfect. Yes, Lindsay, thank you. So I do have an ASMR page in addition to this one on TikTok, where I do traditional ASMR with whispering. On this page, I do not do that. I use a soft-spoken voice on this particular account. I will put in the chat. Oh, Corinne, you came through. I just got you, my friends. Thank you so much. We have an affirmation, yay, which I love. I always think that the affirmations are so interesting. What comes up is oftentimes very strange, so it's very cool. I'm glad you figured it out. Let me put up here my other account in case you're interested in more traditional ASMR. You can find that at Evening Springtime ASMR. All right, Kim, I don't know if I got your request. I am. Navy, I'm looking at a lot of screens. I'm trying to synthesize. It's a little bit enervating just to be like, I feel like I'm going crazy. Perfect. Thanks, Catherine. All right, let's get to our next request for this session. Thank you to our friend Corinne. Corinne has requested an affirmation. I appreciate your support. Let me sit with that for a moment and we'll get started. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Kim. You pinned it. I'm not seeing it still. Oh, I see it. Anxiety and unknown situation. You got it. Let me just write that down. Got it. All right. Perfect. For Corinne. The word that came to mind intuitively for this affirmation was hope. Fostering a deep and vast well of hope within. So let's move into that as our guidance. Hold on, let me just check. Oh, perfect. Tyler and Melissa, I got you. Melissa with light drop and Tyler with a cleanse. Thank you so much, my friends. I'll get to you next. I'd like you to imagine a well dug deeply into the ground. On the surface of this well, the water is warm, sparkling with light. Down deep, as we move down through the layers of water, the water becomes cool and then cold. And the light begins to fade, disappearing. Even when I feel like life is cold and dark and that I am isolated within it, I remember that as I move upward and forward, I can reach the surface once more, where there is warmth and light to welcome me. Even in dark moments of uncertainty or isolation, I remember that there's always another space waiting. And when things feel hopeless, and when I feel alone, I remember that hope is waiting at the top of that well. And I can swim upward. I can take my time, there's no rush. But I remember that it's always there. Always there for me. And as my head emerges up above the top of that well, I allow the light of hope to sparkle and shine. The effervescent light capturing my face and brightening my spirit. Thank you so much for that request for an affirmation. But that felt really deep, and I hope that supports you in your healing journey. That imagery of the well space. Thank you for the roses. Coming up next, I'm going to go ahead and take down these viewer wishes since it's twice the amount of currency than the usual. If you would like to make your own request, you can do so. It should be fairly clear. I'm so glad that resonated with you, Corinne. Here in the upper left-hand corner, that will take you where you want to go if you would like to make a personal request of your own. Coming up next, we have a request from Melissa for a light drop. And let me quickly explain what that is. Some of the terms that I'm using feel a little bit unknown. So light drop is a very quick dropping into the energy bodies, a spark of energy. It is an energizing and nourishing quick moment of energy that is dropped like a star or a droplet of sunlight into the energy bodies. For Melissa, I'd like you to imagine now a simple droplet full of light, yellow, golden, and honeyed, as it drops like a raindrop, solitary and quick, falling into the energy bodies. As that honeyed droplet courts the layers of energy within and around you, you feel the energy enlivening as the cells feel nourished. Imagining that deep honeyed droplet coloring each layer of energy, infusing the energy bodies with bright and easy light. Good. Thank you so much for your request for light drop, Melissa. Hopefully you're feeling some of that revitalization that's intended with that. Remembering that sensation is okay as it comes and goes. Coming up next, we have a request from Tyler for an energy cleanse. Let me just put in the chat what that means. The energy cleanse is the highest level that I offer during my live stream sessions. It's the longest, and it often involves a 3-tier process of clearing energy and clarifying it. So let me sit for a moment here with Tyler's request, and then we'll get started. All right, thanks for being patient. Because the cleanse is my most detailed and deep offering, can take a little while for me to put all the pieces together. So, Tyler, this was a very interesting one for me. And I just want to explain for a second. I hope this resonates with you because there's definitely a theme that emerged for me. And the theme is really focused on this theme of great love. I guess that's one of the ways that I can talk about it, and really nurturing. The word I'm looking for is an amiability, like a closeness that you would feel between friends, something good and kind in attachments. So I know that it's not quite coming to me yet, but we're going to put it together as we go. I wanted to use 3 different energies. The first one is a smoke clearing using rose incense. I'd like to follow that with some aromotherapy to infuse the Reiki. This is my jasmine essential oil. And I'd like to finish with a very powerful crystal healing. This is my specimen of raw garnet. And it's going to move us from something ephemeral with the smoke to something more physical with the essential oil, and then very visceral as we move into some of that deeper energy with the garnet. I'm excited. We'll see where it leads us. All right, let me get us started here with some rose incense. Hold on. I'm feeling very excited about this one, so bear with me. Okay, I'm going to use this. I don't know what you would call it. It's like an incense holder, but it's round, and it diffuses and disperses some of that smoke in all different directions rather than just a line like a regular incense holder might. And I'd like to use that purposefully to help us imagine this rose energy sort of spiraling and circling, diffusing in a wide range that encompasses us in like a 360 circular energy field, if that makes sense. That's a lot of words. All right. Rose in general is often associated with the heart space and love, loving kindness, sweet gentleness. If you can imagine the smell of roses, it smells soft and gentle and easy, softening into the heart space. As we let this incense begin to move and permeate now, we allow it to begin to approach the heart. With the heart, we always take our time. It's such a tender and sensitive, energetic space. Smoke like mist begins to move toward the heart and the emotional energy body. Good. Easy energy like a zephyr, cascading toward the heart space. I invite you simply to observe the sensations in the heart as we begin to move closer. In fact, if you have the space to do so safely, you might even place a hand over the heart space, feeling the palm of your hand slowly begin to warm. And absorbing that easy warmth into the heart, letting it soften. Good. Taking your time if you meet with resistance. I know the heart space can be a place full of judgment, but I invite you in this moment to allow a softness that lives there to peek out through the windows of the heart. It's all right. I'm going to cover this and let it move into its circular motion now. You can imagine that smoky energy surrounding the heart in a cocoon of protection. Soft and gentle. I'm going to put this off to the side and let it continue to burn as we continue. Let me just find a safe space for it nearby. There we go. It looks so pretty, the way that the smoke is circling through the whole apparatus. Good. Holding that ephemeral lightness in the heart, letting it swell toward the back of the heart, letting the arms of that zephyr breeze encircle the heart as it swirls like mist, just softening, it's all right. If you have a hand or two placed over your heart or hovering, letting that heat, that warmth begin to grow. And letting the heart space absorb that warmth. It's okay. That's it. Taking your time, if there's sensation that arises anywhere in the energy bodies. Hello, Jen. Making space for that sensation, allowing it. Using the breath to help you to soothe the heart. Good. I'd like to move next into moving more deeply down into that emotional energy body. This is my jasmine essential oil. If you have ever smelled jasmine essential oil, it smells just like a midnight walk down a path lit by moonlight, surrounded by big white blossoms. I would like to use, I think think I'm just going to use my fingertips for this essential oil. I'm just going to put several droplets of jasmine onto my fingers. And if you have jasmine essential oil readily available, I encourage you to do the same. As we energetically breathe in a scene of midnight peace, lit by a silvery moon, large and soft white blossoms bring a redolence, a fragrance of softness to the heart. Jasmine is an energy of amiability, friendliness. Imagine a jasmine blossom blooming in the garden of the heart. Opening gently to the light of the moon. Imagine that jasmine blossom now beginning to spiral slowly as the heart begins to soften. Spinning slowly as it aligns with the cadence of the heartbeat. Softening. Good. But jasmine also brings the energetic signature that we associate with motherhood. And by that I mean a deep nurturing, a caretaking, attending to. You know how sometimes in psychology people talk about your inner child and nurturing your inner child in order to help you to heal. This is a similar energy to that, but specific to the emotional energy body. It invites you to feel cared for deeply. It invites you to welcome a mother-like tenderness held in the heart to help the heart release. Soft and easy. Taking your time to accept that nurturing. You can take your time as the heart begins to continue to spin. Just like the white blossom of jasmine. Good, releasing its tension and slowly accepting that bud of nurturing. That's it. wanted to follow up that jasmine energy with some crystal healing. Obviously, this is a cleanse for the heart, and one wonderful way to deepen some of that heart space clearing is with garnet. Give me just a second here. One of my screens has shut down, and I want to make sure that I don't miss any requests that come in. Okay, good. I didn't miss anything. All right. This is one of my favorite crystals. This is my specimen of garnet, and this is a raw specimen. If you could feel it, it's incredibly heavy. This is my heaviest stone. It must weigh at least 5 pounds. At least, maybe more. It's heavy. You could weightlift with this. I love this because it represents the heart space so well. When there's a feeling of heaviness in the heart, heavy like a stone, when the heart is in need of softening and clearing. Garnet is a stone of the blood in a physical sense, and the blood physically, not metaphysically, is used to clear and detoxify. In our bodies, the blood pumps toward the heart, where the heart is the processing center that helps to detoxify and clear and cleanse the blood. So as it comes out of that factory, it is more clear. It also works on a metaphysical level, helping to support the metaphysical and emotional center of our spirit, to process and to detoxify so that it can pump energy more cleanly through the energy bodies. Good. Garnet is also an energy of intimacy. Coming back to that theme of amiability, the friendship sensation. You know when you feel like you have a good friend, a really good friend, the best, a friend that you can always rely on. Good. This energy encourages that closeness, that intimacy in the heart space of allowing others to come in to the heart, the house, the garden of the heart. A welcome guest. That's it. Ooh, I'm feeling it. I would like to just hold this garnet down toward the heart space for a few moments, letting it settle. Just letting it be held. As we comfort the heart space. That's it. Letting this energy sit with you as a friend would. Good. That's it. Giving that energy, that cleanse of the heart space, time. Julie, thank you so much. Happy March. Giving it all the time and all the space that it requires to move into that amiable space. Tommy, Holly, thank you for getting your heartbeats. Good. Julie, thanks for being a part of the team and leveling up. Tyler, thank you so much for your request for a cleanse. Whew. Wow. Phew. That was quite wonderful. Thank you so much. I hope that you and many viewers as well benefited from that flow of energy. Ooh, just wanting to hold space there. Oh, good. Sometimes with energy healing, as the energy shifts, we feel the sensation in the body. And sometimes sensation can be alarming. Sensation can take many forms: panic, tiredness, hunger, pain, joy. Pretty much everything, I think, is a sensation, and sometimes sensations can be startling. Trying to let that sensation come and be acknowledged and letting it go can help so much, helping us move that energy. Thank you so much for your request. Let me know in the chat, Tyler or anyone, how that energy cleanse courted you, how it felt for you, if anything came up. I would love to know. Whew, all right, that is it for our requests so far today. If you are interested in making a request of your own, I can put up some instructions for you here on the screen. Let's see. Let's use this one. Oh, good, Juju. Feeling some peacefulness. Jasmine is your middle name, hematite. So you were feeling that one. For sure. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Ella. Yes, Kim. I do have you written down, but let me circle back to that. Let's get to Kim's request as a super fan for dealing with some anxiety and some unknown health issues. Oh, wow. I didn't know that, hematite. That is so cool. That makes a lot of sense. Perfect. Of course. For Kim, giving a bit of attention to anxiety and navigating some of the uncertainty. I want to see what words come to mind, or if any do. Perhaps this is a wordless one. I do have some words that have come to mind. Let's see if I can give them flight here. There are so many questions in life, innumerable. And it seems that there are few answers, if any, at least in my experience. Learning to live and navigate a landscape like that constantly requires us to surrender time and time again to the unknown. That surrender is a journey. A journey full of mountains and valleys, highs and lows. A journey where you're asked to navigate treacherous. That's not the word I'm looking for. Treacherous is like betrayal, isn't it? What is the word I'm looking for? Tumultuous? I think that's it. Tumultuous landscapes. Never knowing what the terrain will hold or what the weather will be. How to prepare for your journey. Ash, thank you so much for your request. I see you. Perfect for a Reiki visualization journey. That's one of my favorites. I've got you next. There's really no way to prepare for unknown terrain. You don't know what to pack in your bag or what to wear on your person. What kind of footwear will help you, or even what direction to move. And that is hard to surrender to. Take your time, allowing this untold journey to unfold as you remain flexible, ready to shed your raincoat or throw it on. Doing your best to embrace the energy of the unknown that actually colors so many aspects of our life. Thanks for your request, Kim. I hope that was helpful for you. If you are a super fan as well, right now I am doing free healings. So if you are a super fan, please do let me know in the chat if you have a request for the live stream today. Coming up next, we have a request from our friend and moderator, Ash, looking for a Reiki visualization journey. One of my favorites to do because it's full of imagery and I love imagery. Perfect. Let me see here. If you would also like to make a request during the live stream, I encourage you to do so and appreciate it. Over here in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see my picture. And you can navigate there. There's a bolded area, and that will take you where you want to go. Thank you so much, Peace. I do love imagery. Oh, Fatima, let me get you down. Strengthening a connection with the loved one. Let me just write that down. Perfect. Thank you for getting your heart me as you come in. Hello, Funky. Hello, Stephen. All right. Let me sit now with Ash's request. We'll see what comes to mind, and then we'll get started. All right. One thing that makes this modality so interesting to me is I hardly ever know what these images or words that come to mind intuitively mean. And so this one is like that. I got this image of fragrance. Like, do you know when you spritz something around a room to change the way that it smells? Those beads of fragrance coming out of the apparatus. Let me show you a visual kind of like this. And the sensation of that fragrance coloring the way that everything else is perceived, if that makes sense. Let's roll with it. Let me get you down there, Corinne. Self-appreciation. Got it. All right. Let's roll with this idea of fragrance and find out where that leads us. Sarah, I see you and I got you. Thank you so much for making a request for a card. Yay. I can't wait for that one. I've got you coming up after Ash, and then we'll do Fatima and Corinne. All right, Ash. Fragrance. Imagine a room. The room is full of keepsakes. Things that you have collected on your life's journey. Trinkets of memories, notes. The room has been colored by the life that you have lived and how you have framed it. Different corners hold different colors. Different sections of the room have a different style or decoration depending on what it represents. This room is vast as a life, holding the things and feelings, sensations, experiences that you believe have made you who you are. I'd like you to walk into this room, just observing and just allowing this room to court you. nothing to do except wander and observe. That's it. Bringing curiosity as you look around the space. What a room that would be. Allowing that imagery to create a picture of this room in your mind. Letting it change, letting it unfold, letting it grow or shrink. Letting it move and change as the things that fill our life so often do. Let it be a changing room, like magic. I'd like you to find a corner of that room now. A corner of the room that feels heavy, restricted, dark. Good. Just acknowledging the presence of that corner. Nothing to do or change. Just observing and acknowledging. Imagine in your hands you hold a bottle. Within the bottle is a rich and light fragrance, your favorite. A redolent fragrance that carries the sweet memory of gentleness and ease and safety. In fact, as you inhale through your nose now, you can smell it, and it comforts you. It always does. I'd like you to imagine now lifting that spray bottle and letting free a gentle mist toward that corner of the room where the shadows lie. Filling that space with the soft particles of fragrance. Letting that feeling of safety and ease and gentle light move in. Good. Ooh. Thank you so much, Ash, for that journey. And that fascinating imagery that came to mind. Thank you so much. I appreciate you always for your support. Coming up next, we have a request from Sarah for a card, and then we'll circle back to Fatima and Corinne for their super fan requests. Thank you so much. Let me see. Coming up next for Sarah, we have an intuitive and fateful card pull, and I will guide the Reiki depending on the card that I pull. I don't do tarot, at least not for the masses. I only do it for myself, but I do use oracle cards here, and I have several decks that I use. I'm going to choose your deck, Sarah, intuitively, and then I will select a card and we will do Reiki based on that card. Give me just a moment. Oh, that's wonderful, Ash. And we'll get started. All right away, this deck came to mind. I know it appears backwards in your view here, but this is, oh, it's upside down. No wonder it was looking so weird. Not just backwards, but upside down. This is my activations oracle deck. It's related to sacred geometry. Those are shapes that some believe carry spiritual signatures. All right. Let me get these cards ready. And we'll see what comes to mind. I am no master shuffler. I shuffle like the saw method, like this. I know I see some people that do cards here on TikTok, and they are like, like they're working at a poker table, and they've got that amazing shuffling down where they seem really adept. And it's almost like a show to even watch. I am not that. I shuffle decks like a child. But it always works. That's true. All right. I'm going to choose here this card on top, and we'll see what it is. This is a chakra card for the sacral chakra. And I'd like to read what it says in the small print in the bottom, and we'll use that to guide the Reiki healing. It says, the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. All right. Let us use this card and its message to guide the Reiki. I'm going to put it right here where I can see it. I love this idea of the orange flower of the sacral chakra. Good. Let's journey now into the back body as we bring attention to the lower back. I'd like you to imagine that deep in the soil of the sacral space blooms an orange blossom. And as the back body begins to relax, as the hip bones begin to open and soften, as the pelvic bowl fills with soft energy like rainwater, that small orange blossom begins to open. Excuse me. Little movement there for me. Oh. Good. Feeling now the sensation in the back body as the back of the hips, as the back of that pelvic bowl begin to spread energetically, opening and spreading just like a watercolor brushstroke. You can imagine a soft orange hue of watercolor spreading across the back body. And like watercolor, it begins to diffuse, moving outward and opening. Good. That orange blossom blooming within the sacral chakra begins to tell. Oh, hold on. My goodness. That was my phone ringing. I don't know if you could hear that. Probably. As that orange blossom begins to open in the sacral chakra, it reveals the desires and passions within, the hopes and the dreams that you've kept concealed or protected deep within the hips. And as that blossom begins to unfurl its gentle petals, opening one by one, it reveals to you those deep-seated desires. What do you long for? What do you wish and hope? And as that blossom opens fully, you allow those sensations of passion and desire, of longing, of want and need to open freely, spreading like watercolor across the back body, across the hips. Easy and gentle as the energy moves and glides across the hips, Good. Thank you so much for your request for a card pull. I haven't used this deck in quite some time, and it was nice to revisit. This is the Sacred Geometry Activation Oracle, and that was the Sacral Chakra card, explored with some Reiki and visualization. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for your request. I appreciate it. Let me see. Where did I put that top? Oh, there it is. Perfect. I love those. I love the cards. It's always a journey to see where it leads us. All right. Perfect, Sarah. I'm glad that resonated with you. All right, my friends. I am going to move toward closing the Reiki session for today. I wanted to thank you for sharing this time and this space with me. Oh, I forgot about Fatima and Corinne. We'll circle back to closing the space after we do Fatima and Kim. I don't know why, but for some reason I keep forgetting to come back to those super fan requests, probably because they're new. Thanks, Annabelle. Good to see you. I just started doing them during this session, so I think that's why. I have to try to remember. All right, Fatima, let's do yours next. You had a request for strengthening the connection that you have with a loved one. Let me sit with that, contemplate that for a moment, and then we'll get started. I really want to use an essential oil for this, and I was just looking at my notes here because I'm torn between a couple different ones. I'm landing on honeysuckle, so give me a moment to find that essential oil and we'll get started. All right, this is my honeysuckle essential oil, and I'd like to put it in a ball roller for this particular healing. So give me just a second to get that in there, and we'll get started. I love these floral essential oils that we're working with today. Previously we used the jasmine, and now the honeysuckle. I love the floral essential oils. Okay. Let me just get that in there. Perfect. All right. Using honeysuckle essential oil here in this ball roller, as we energetically apply the essence of this floral fragrance. Honeysuckle is an essence of homesickness, if that makes sense. Let me explain. When you're longing for the nostalgia, lingering in the memory of things that used to be, honeysuckle is an essence that helps you come back home to that connection that has defined a certain moment of your life. Whether it's a person or a place, a feeling, a memory from the past or from a recent time. Honeysuckle helps to suture together, to bring together, to carry home that connection. Strengthening that thread. Good. So good. I love that floral smell. While honeysuckle invites home, brings home the energy of things longed for, it also supports in letting go and knowing what's needed. Holding on or releasing. And allowing space for both. Thank you so much for your request, Fatima. Ooh, I wish I had a towel. I do have a towel. Sometimes I forget that I have essential oil on my hands. And later my husband will say, "What is that smell?" I'll be like, "Oh, it's my essential oil." Sometimes it's quite heavy. I have to remember to wash my hands afterwards. It's even worse if you scratch your eye or something and it burns. Thank you for the roses. Coming up next, we have a request from Corinne, who's looking for a healing focused on self-appreciation. Give me a moment to sit with that and we'll get started. I would like to use a crystal energy for this. I'm just looking for my specimen of tiger's eye. I just found it. Let me grab it and we'll get started. I actually have a couple specimens of tiger's eye. This one is a polished version, and this is a raw version of tiger's eye, and I'd like to use the raw version of tiger's eye for this particular healing. I'd like to use this specimen for its traditional and primary energy. Tiger's eye is known for being a crystal of courage. One of the best. Whenever you're in need of a boost of bravery. Tiger's Eye assists you in staying focused, not at anything around you or anything going on, but staying focused within. Turning the eyes inward, the energetic eyes. Allowing yourself to look and see yourself courageously. And I think oftentimes when we think about taking a hard look at ourselves courageously, we automatically begin to think about criticizing ourselves. It's like, I'm going to be brave when I look at myself, and I'm going to see that I suck. I'm a horrible person and I deserve to suffer. I don't know, maybe that's just me. In practice, sometimes we go there. I have gone there before. Tiger's Eye is not that. Tiger's Eye is about turning the eyes, the spiritual eyes inward, seeing the self and loving it, greeting the self with compassion takes more courage and bravery than greeting the self with criticism. If you've ever tried to turn that around, you know how challenging it can be. That's the bravery that Tiger's Eye inspires. Turning the eyes inward and seeing the self as worthy, as more than enough, as everything, as something worth exploring and knowing. Taking the courage to be there in the center of yourself and letting it fill you up. Good. Thank you so much for your request, Corinne. As a super fan, right now I am offering free short healings. What is this? Oh my goodness. Ash, tiger lift? That is so cool and appropriate for Tiger's Eye. Thank you so much. That is so cool. Thank you. I've never seen that one before. I loved it. Appreciate it. Let me check and see if there are any other requests that have come in for this session. Oh, we do. We have one from Hannah. Hannah, I see you. Thank you so much for your request. That is for energy plucking. Yay. Let's go ahead and get to our next request for Hannah, who has requested energy plucking. Let me put in the chat what that means. I put together a short little overview for anybody who is curious about some of these terms. So energy plucking is energetic encouragement to release and to let go of energy that you've been holding on to that has been ready to move or change for some time. So that's what energy plucking is focused on. Let's get started with some plucking for Hannah. Good. As we soften the auric landscape, starting with the cocoon of energy surrounding you, feeling a gentling, a deep nourishment of that energetic cocoon. As we welcome the energy there to move and change. Letting go of any energy that wants to change, that's ready to change. Good. As we move more deeply now into the layers of energy bodies, we invite that same letting go. As we gather pockets of energy that have become stagnant or stuck, encouraging them to move, just like muscles that haven't been exercised in a while, that have become stiff or hardened. We begin to energetically massage those muscles, allowing the energy to release. Bringing movement once again. Letting go of what is ready. That's it. Letting go of what is ready. Releasing. It's all right. And don't worry about holding on to anything that is not ready. There's no pressure. There's no, what is it, when you're working in corporate and you have a deadline. There's no, I want to say timeline. There's no, the word isn't coming to me. Well, there's no pressure for you to let go. Allowing yourself to release in its own time. Maybe it is deadline. I had something more specific in mind, but my brain is like fried right now. It's like a corporate type of thing. Anyway, thank you for your suggestions in the chat. Who knows what I was thinking? You never can tell. All right, let me check and see if there are any more requests for this session. It looks like that is it. Thank you so much, Fatima, for the United Hearts. Appreciate it. All right, my friends, that sums up the session for today. I wanted to thank everyone who tapped the screen. We are almost at 100K taps. That is a lot of support. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It helps me to feel supported in the work that I'm doing here. So thank you so much. Thank you for your kind comments today in the chat. Really appreciate that. Ooh. I wanted to thank you as well to everyone who made requests today. I always enjoy seeing what's going to come up, and I appreciate your support. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions about how to make these requests. I know it can be a little bit confusing, especially since TikTok blocks a lot of the words and phrases that we can use to explain how to do these things. So we try to work around it. It's not always easy. So thanks for bearing with me as we go. I'm happy to stick around and answer any questions that you might have. Lore, I see you have a question there. Can move into a little bit of Q&A before we end. Please feel free to put any questions or comments you might have in the chat. I'm happy to answer them before I sign off. Lore asks, how does she do Reiki for the collective or only requests? So this session is called Reiki by request, and this is my common modality. During this session, I do requests. However, Annabelle, thank you so much. I love that one. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. During this particular modality, this session, I do requests. However, Reiki is always for the collective. So, as I see it, Reiki doesn't function based on requests. It's just a free flow and freely available movement of energy that's open to anybody who is open and willing to receive it. So in that way, even though there are requests, the energy goes toward everyone. However, I do have a collective style Reiki healing that I do once a month. That's on the first of the month. It is a Reiki healing circle on the first of the month for superfans. So if you are a super fan, you're welcome to join. However, I do stream it openly so everyone can watch and receive, but only super fans can chat and put in requests for community style healing. So I hope that answers your question. Let me see if anyone else asked a question. Thank you for getting in your heart me. Hello, Jacqueline. Shay, thank you for the rosas. Let me see, I'm just scrolling back to see if I missed any questions here. Oh, perfect, Fatima. I love that. I love the thematic gifts that relate to what we're doing. You're welcome, Melatonin. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Oh, so Sarah has a question about where do I get my crystals? You want to make sure that they're authentic. So I get my crystals locally, and I also get them online. And there are a couple places that I recommend getting them. Oh, thanks for 100K likes, everyone. Perfect. If you're in the fan club, make sure you put some celebratory emojis in the chat to celebrate 100K. It's so rare that we get that many, so thank you so much for tapping. The best advice I have for crystals is to make sure that you're feeling a connection with the crystal, even if it's purchased online, even if it's something that you've received as a gift, or even if you're in person with it, touching it, handling it, and feeling it directly. Make sure that there's some kind of connection that you're feeling to it, and that connection should feel nurturing and positive. That is the best way that I know to connect with a crystal. I think that matters even more than anything else, even authenticity. I think that it's important that crystals are authentic, and if you're concerned about sourcing and how things were sourced, there's oftentimes information about those things on the sites or at the store from which you're buying, and if there isn't, you can oftentimes inquire about those things. On the other hand, for me, the most important element is genuine connection, and I might connect with one specimen of amethyst differently than I might connect with another specimen. So I think that is the most important thing when it comes to selecting the right crystals. However, if you are a crystal person and you have some other suggestions or tips, please put them in the chat. We'd love to hear how you go about that work. Perfect. Thanks, Annabelle. Just reading your comment now. Glad I could help, Lex. Perfect. So it's Lucy has a question. When do I usually do lives, and for how long do you do them? I do stream at random, so make sure that you follow if you'd like to get notifications. Usually it's during the day, Eastern Standard Time in the US. I try to get it done usually early in the morning so that I can go on with the rest of my day. I'm a mom and working, and it's hard to always find the time. So I do try to stream 2 or 3 times a week. I also have another account for ASMR. So that's usually about the maximum that I can do. But I do try to come on whenever I can, and I'm feeling well and I'm feeling motivated to do the live stream. So Kelsey has a question, how to go about learning Reiki. That's a great question. Reiki is available to everyone. You don't need to be trained in order to access and use Reiki for yourself. Reiki is universal healing, universal life force energy, and it is accessible whether you're a Reiki master or you're a baby. It's there. It's within us. It's within everything. So in terms of learning Reiki, there are many ways to learn it. You can learn it casually by just picking up a book. Here's a good one I'm just reading now myself. This is a book that I just started reading by Lisa Powers. And she is someone who I've learned from in the past. There are many Reiki masters out there. They have books, they have courses that you can take in person or online. I myself, as a Reiki master, am developing my own Reiki certification course, which I'm almost done developing level 1. So there are people that are masters that are offering either certification courses or non-certification courses just to learn. There are books. There's a lot of information that you can gather online. If you're going to practice Reiki with other people or for other people, personally, I think it's much better to pursue some form of formal training, because the more that you know and the more that you learn and practice, there's something that we call attunement when you become certified or enter a formal learning program for Reiki. And that attunement is really important in the kind of Reiki I practice, which is Usui Reiki. And there are many forms of Reiki that you can do. There's so much to learn. If you'd like to learn more about Reiki in a casual way, you can join my subscription here on TikTok. I'm posting videos that just talk about Reiki in a casual way so that people who are interested and curious and love Reiki can learn more and have discussions about it. I do have sub-only videos here, but trust me, the plethora of information at your fingertips for free is enormous. And I invite you to just dive in and chase after what is motivating and attractive to you and see where it takes you. On my own Reiki journey, it's been so wonderful just to feed my curiosity and see how it affects me. And learning, for me, as a learner, is one of the greatest joys in life, is just learning. So I invite you to jump in and see where you enter that journey and see where it takes you. All right, let's see. You're welcome, Luce. Thanks for being here. Mercedes, thanks for all the taps. Perfect. I'm just looking to see if there are any more questions. Fan club emojis aren't working, Ash. This platform is crazy. I'm telling you, you just never know what's going to happen. Thanks, Angel. 100K is a lot of taps, so thank you again. Hey, Chelsea, good to see you. I'm just finishing up. Yes, so Kiss, I do have some more affordable offerings. I do have some offerings for just $5. So it ranges from $5 to $40. And I have a lot, so should be hopefully able to find something. Also, during the live streams, when I have a lot of requests, I'll oftentimes offer a request for people who aren't paying for anything. I oftentimes do free requests that I give during a session. So do stay tuned for that. I like to make sure that everyone can access healing by request when I have time and space to do so. Lex, I'm looking forward to the course too. Sky, you're a Reiki practitioner. Yes. Oh my goodness. And you can use Reiki on yourself without any kind of certification. I highly recommend tapping into that healing energy and asking questions, asking those foundational questions and practicing as you go. That's how I got started in Reiki, and it's amazing. Oh, you meant Crystal's Kiss. Yeah, crystals can be affordable though, especially if you're buying them locally, I found. And there are different sizes too for crystals. The smaller ones tend to be less expensive. However, that isn't always the case. Like, I'm thinking of an exception might be moldavite. Moldavite is outrageously expensive no matter what size you get. You can get like a pinprick size of moldavite. It's going to cost you your firstborn. But they're they're generally by size. So if you look for the smaller ones, you can afford maybe a crystal that might be more expensive if it were bigger. All right, let's see. Of course. All right, exactly, Sky. Yes, I feel like our connection to Reiki strengthens as we use it more through the years. That's why I think educating yourself about Reiki too, it helps to strengthen that connection. The more that we understand, the safer we feel to open and the safer we feel to use. And the more that we know, I think the more empowered we can become in our own usage of Reiki. So I think that absolutely through the years, it tends to grow stronger as we build confidence and knowledge and we practice. Using Reiki is just like strengthening any skill that we have. It's about practicing, right? And I have a daughter, and she can get really frustrated because she wants to try something new and immediately wants to be perfect at it or really proficient at it. And I think sometimes, I mean, I'm like that too. We want to skip over all of the practice and we want to get right to the ultimate result. Sometimes we lose focus on how useful and how fruitful the practice can be. So keeping that in mind when it comes to Reiki can be very good. Ash, I don't own moldavite either. Moldavite is a crystal that I don't really understand, so I tend to avoid it. Maybe someday I will look into it a little more, but it's not for me at this point in my life. All right, everyone, thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Take good care.